Hey, if you're feeling like you need a little reset or just to drop back into your body, this is the class for you. You'll want to have with you a yoga ball, a blanket, 2 yoga blocks, and let's get started. To begin today, we'll take the yoga ball and press it up against something that's sturdy, like a couch or a chair that won't move, and then take a blanket and fold it so that it's right in front of your yoga ball. This becomes your little yoga perch. So you sit on that, and you can do cross-legged, you can do half lotus if that feels right for you, and then hands come right to your thighs. So you could do a mudra here, which is really beautiful, joining your thumb with your index finger, and just place that right on your knees or close to your knees. And then if it feels okay to, you can allow your eyes to close or even just cast down 9/10 of the way closed. So what we're doing is we're drawing our energy back into our body. Part of this work that we're doing here is to create a space for ourselves to be, to connect to that expansiveness, that beautiful spaciousness that's within us. So doing this mudra will help, allowing your eyes to close so that you come back into pratyahara, drawing your senses and energies inward. Such a beautiful expression of love. And then from here, feel the ball gently pressing into your back, giving you a little assist in the lifting of your spinal column. Nice. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, relax through the sides of your neck, back of your head. Chin is level, parallel to the floor. So you can even draw the back of your head slightly back upward. Jalandhara Bandha. Relaxing the jaw, the eyelids, the face. Feel the breath going in and out. So it's a matter of sensation, of feeling our own breath, of being in that space, self-acceptance. Opening through our collarbones, and we'll take 3 more breaths here. Let the breath be smooth and easy. Really nicely done. And then, when you allow your eyes to flutter open, just taking in the light in your room, taking in whatever's in your room. It might be your dog, might be kids, it might be whatever space is there, just allowing it in, but maintaining your center. And then, when you feel ready to, we'll pop on up, and let's use our yoga ball for our first downward facing dog. So come on up, take the blanket, little perch out of the way, and moving the ball way out in front of you. Your hands are on the sides of the ball and they're turning away from one another. So they're kind of externally rotating as such, and you're holding onto the ball. We haven't done anything for our hamstrings yet. So even if you have pretty long hamstrings, I recommend a slight bend in your knees. That's going to gently allow our lower back to get on board with us. And then your head slightly drops so that your ears line up with your biceps. Now, if you gently roll the ball away from you, you might feel a deeper stretch through the front of the chest and the armpits, maybe the tops of the shoulders. So just notice what's there. If it's a little uncomfortable, this is okay. If it is painful, electric, feeling, or just not good, then, go back to where it felt a little bit better, so that might be with the ball a little closer to you. And you can always play with it and roll back and forth. So we'll take 3 more breaths here. Let your exhales be really long. It's one way to stay connected and to release anxiety. Long exhales. And then we're going to step that right foot forward coming into pyramid pose. So right foot's forward, so we are going to address the hamstrings here. Right foot's forward, left foot is back, and you can see that the feet are about 3 to 4 feet away from one another. Toes are pointing to the top of the mat. You can take the ball and reach it far out, but keep your spinal column straight here. So what we don't want to have is like a rounding of the back. That's not what this pose is. This pose is lengthening. And so we want to really honor that lengthening by listening deeply to how your body is metabolizing and processing this particular pose. So it's pyramid pose, Parsvatonasana, on the ball. We will move into the block in a moment. But for right now, we're releasing through the side body, we're releasing through the back of the leg. Take 3 more breaths here. And then we're going to move into the block. Bend that right knee. Move the ball out of the way, but not too far. Take 2 blocks, one on either side of your right foot. And go ahead and place your hands right on them. So hands now are underneath your shoulders. What can happen in this pose is the right hip can try to pull forward. And it's doing that because it's trying to release the hamstring stretch. So knowing that, we're going to draw that right hip back. You can even take your right hand, place it on the very top of the right thigh, right at that crease where it meets the hip and the pelvis, and draw it back behind you, lengthening your spine. You can keep your elbows unbent, or you can bend them and drop your forehead closer to your right leg. And let's breathe here together. Engaging through your right quadricep for a little more, and pressing down through that right ball of foot. Two more big breaths. And then lifting up, stepping both feet next to one another, and a long spine, lifting us up to standing. Take a full breath in, facing forward. Inhale. Very nice. And exhale. Let's switch sides. So we'll move the blocks out of the way, and we'll repeat this with the left foot forward. Draw the right foot back. Reach the ball forward, and give yourself this space to release and relax. Letting the tension move away. Take 2 more breaths. Then bend into the left knee. We'll move the ball out of the way and repeat what we did on the other side with the blocks underneath our shoulders. Just notice how your left leg is feeling. Drawing back through the top of that left thigh. Plugging in through the base of the toe mound there. Big breath. You can keep your elbows unbent, or you can bend them for a little more intensity. It'll deepen the stretch for sure. Remember, we're still prizing the length of our spine. Relaxing the jaw, the lips, the throat as you breathe here. 3 more big breaths. Nice, and then lengthen upward. We're going to place our feet about hip-width distance. Remove the blocks out of the way. Come on up to standing. Really nicely done. Let's take the ball now. We're going to move it into a warrior 2. So right foot's forward. And we're sitting directly on top of the ball. And you'll have your back foot in a warrior two type stance, so it's a kind of parallel to the back of the mat with a little kickback in the heel. Right knee over the right ankle, and just make sure that the right toes are pointing straight forward. Sometimes they'll turn in or out. We want to keep that symmetry and simplicity. Arms are out to the side, warrior two, reaching your hands away from you. Now as you do this pose, you're dropping your tailbone, you're lifting through the abdomen upwards, so you can think about your pelvis as slightly down in the back, slightly up in the front, and that creates that neutral space for our pelvis. As you stretch open through the hips here, in this beautiful warrior two, full breath in. Nice job, exhale all the breath out, reverse the warrior up and back. And then come directly into Parsva. So your right forearm looks up at the ceiling, right palm looks up at the ceiling, and then left arm up and over, and turn and spin the left ribs up to the ceiling. We got a 5 breath here. Just luxuriate in it. Feel the connection from that pinky finger above your head all the way down, long line of energy through the side body into your left foot. Beautiful. One more breath. Inhale. Nice. And exhale. Come back up to warrior two, and then arms are down. Let's swap sides. So you could step your left foot forward or do as I'm doing, where I'm just turning and facing the back of the mat now. You want to position your feet so that you get that beautiful warrior two stance, which is a gorgeous hip opener, and then arms are out. So you're strengthening your back, you're strengthening your arms, strengthening our resolve. Classic gaze is over the left hand here, and just make sure that that left knee is going right as if it's pointing to that second toe. And we'll take 3 more breaths. Opening up through the chest. Effort with no strain, effort with ease. And then reverse this warrior. It's up, it's back. And then come forward into Parsva. So dropping the top ribs down. So we don't want to bow them up. We want that beautiful long line of energy. Then that right arm is up and over, and we're spinning the right ribs towards the ceiling and back. All the while, we're pressing into the outer edge of our back foot. We're creating that lift in the back inner arch. Little details, and then just drop into it, you know? 3 more breaths here. Nicely done. With your core engaged, we rise up to warrior two, and then arms are down. Let's pop that ball out. We'll see it again, but not for a bit. We're going to move it over to the side. It likes to roll away, doesn't it? And then step yourself to the short part of your mat. Inhale, arms are all the way up. Let's vinyasa through. Exhale, forward, fold, and down. Take your time. Inhale, lengthen your spine, keep the core engaged, and then step back with that core engaged. So high plank, just for a moment, you want to just make sure that you're not dropping through your legs. If you do find you are doing that, just place your knees on the floor. And that's a much healthier way to do this pose. Otherwise, you're up, your body's in a plank, your core is engaged, and then lower down halfway, upward facing dog breath. Big toes point straight back. Downward facing dog. Tilt your heels to the left and stretch open through the right side. Egyptian dog. And then back through center, heels to the right. Releasing your back, releasing the side body. So good. 1 more breath. And then back through center, downward facing dog. 1 full breath in and out. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Then walk your hands back to the back of the mat. Bend your knees deeply and we'll come on up to standing. Let's take a yoga block now and place it at the lowest setting. And we're going to do a little work to open up the foot. So when we release the tension in the foot, go ahead and place your inner arch on the block and just gently pressing. You're looking for points of tension. You can go side to side. It's a little bit actually of balance even doing this, but what we're doing here is we're releasing tension in the feet, which is going to release tension in the leg, which is going to wake up the proprioceptors in your calf, which is going to then translate into allowing you to balance just a little bit better. You know, allowing yourself to really come into that potential of your own balance and grace and ease. And then go all the way up to the toes, wiggle them, get in there, back and forth. And if you hit sore spots, you can always hit pause on your device there and just work with it and then hit play when you're ready to. So going back and forth, and then before we get to the other side, just pause, place the right foot down and just feel. Do you feel the difference in that right leg? Just the simplest 30-second work, compressive work with the block can make a huge difference. Let's go get the left side. So you can start by the heel or the inner arch. You're doing basically the entire length of the sole of your foot. You can wiggle it back and forth, finding those spots that are a little tighter. Working with it. So just a little mini massage. I'm using a cork block here. It's a little harder. You could use cork, you could use foam. And you want to really feel like you can let the tension release. Cross lateral, cross fiber work, side to side, making sure you get each toe gets a little bit of a moment in the limelight. All right. Then once we've released that, move the block out of the way. We're going to do 2 trees. We'll start with 1 as a kickstand. So you're standing on that left leg, right heel moves in, arms are out to the side, lift up through the chest. You can keep your arms at the side, you can open them out way out to the side or all the way up to the ceiling. It's always your choice, so feel what works for you and go for that. And we'll be here for 2 more breaths. The right knee is out to the side, tailbone is dropping. If you find the right knee's out to the side and it kind of pulls the tailbone into a tilt, then just draw it slightly forward. Inhale. Very nicely done. Exhale. Let's place that right foot on the floor, and without any fanfare, we're just moving to the left side. Left heel's in. Lift up through the chest. Amazing. So feel how your body's trying to course correct. Love the wobble. Love anything in there that's just a little bit shaky. This is okay. This is how our body is helping us balance. So we accept and honor that course correction, I like to call it. 2 more breaths. Getting tall, very good. Exhale, we'll place that left foot on the floor. Tadasana, 1 full breath here. And exhale the breath all the way. And then let's go. Keep the left foot on the floor. You can bring that right heel into the side of your calf or even up to the inner thigh. I'm going to work on the side of the calf. Now, if it feels a little too unwieldy today, go back to kickstand. If it feels like you want the extra challenge, then go into calf or, as I mentioned, into the upper thigh. And you want to continue that upward draft as if your body is being lifted upward, as if the left leg is pulling in to give you that strength. And here we go for 3. Good, stay with it now. 2, lifting up through the sternum, but dropping the ribs, lower ribs, and release. Nicely done, let's switch sides. So pick your pose, what works best for you today, and then upward draft. Everything's lifting. Good, that's it. Stay with it now for 3, 2, lovely, and release. Really nice Tadasana, just feeling your own energy, feeling that kind of buoyancy. Can you tap in how your legs feel, how your pelvis feels, the chest lifts, your mind can relax, and then we're going to move this into a Vinyasa. Inhale, both arms are up. And exhale, forward fold, bring it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank, either with knees off or on the floor. Low plank, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Let's float that right leg back. Maybe bend the right knee, come into a three-legged dog, and then move directly into your pigeon. Pigeon of choice, you can always do this on your back. You can do a supine figure four, you can do a seated figure four, or any variation that releases the piriformis muscle. So I'm in forward lying pigeon, and I'm on my forearms, but you could be up on your hands, or you could be even lower with your forehead resting on the back of your hands. Flex your right foot, draw that top of the right thigh back towards the back of the mat, and we'll breathe here. Relaxing shoulders, no tension. Full breath in, and exhale the breath all out. Come on up, hands where your elbows were. Give yourself a little upward dog. Core stays engaged, open through the chest. Beautiful downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Left leg back, maybe bend the knee, coming into a three-legged dog here, and sweeping it forward into your pigeon. This side might be different, right? Our sides are not symmetrical, and that's okay. This is the nature of it. One more big breath. And exhale it out. Really nicely done. Hands where your elbows were, lifting up if you're in a forward lying pigeon, and then sending it straight back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale the breath out. Let's come onto our knees and just take a 3-breath child's pose. So you're just releasing and stretching your low back here. Nice, come on up. We're gonna do a shavasana on the ball. So take your blanket or pillow right behind you. That'll be your, the back of your head and your neck. And then we're just gonna place our calves on the ball. Now for a little extra grounding, grab that block and place it right on top of you. On your lower abdomen can be very grounding. If you're doing this, and I pull the ball all the way in so it's at the back of your hamstrings. If you do this and you notice the ball is just sliding away or it's unwieldy, either move something in front of the ball, like a chair or a block or a wall. You can move yourself to the wall, or just do legs up on the wall, or even a classic shavasana. Okay, let's do this. Take a full breath in. And exhale the breath all away. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I'll see you next time. Namaste.